How do two German car enthusiasts, cowboys, greet each other? Howdy, partner.
Oh God.
All right, welcome to the best south end of Winnipeg craft beer, wrestling, craft beer podcast. I am the EST of Triple B, Pat Gagne, with the world's shittiest internet. With me is Matt Booties Gagne, and of course, I got him to laugh. That's nice. Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield. All right, this is take 5. If this doesn't work, this will be the last episode of Bros, Bumps, and Beer.
Yeah, this COVID and us not being it together is officially starting to break because Pat's internet is powered by a hamster on a wheel.
You may need to spend $10, Pat.
I don't know what to tell you. I have a beef with Bell MTS, and we're gonna talk, or Bell, whatever the fuck they're called now. They're getting a call like tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, "What am I paying for?"
And you're gonna end up paying $10 extra to upgrade your internet.
Yeah, so you can get, and that's fine. Whatever.
I mean, I got to admit, I'm gunning the fastest internet I can get from Bell MTS, and I mean, I've knock on wood, like Rio have like Netflix on while I have the PlayStation on, and I have DAZN on the other TV to watch football, and it doesn't hiccup a lick, you know. But
I'm also in a shitty part of the city, I think.
Yeah, that might be true because the way that's why. Well, I don't know how the wiring works. How it used to work is I remember back in the day where if like your neighbors were using it, it would slow down. Like we had Simpatico. I don't know if that was in Winnipeg, but that's what we had in Toronto.
That's that song from Bad Teacher.
That's a great song.
Oh, that is a good song. But it was like after dial-up, the first true non-dial-up. Is that another rushing touchdown? Are you
watching the
game?
Oh, good.
Stop watching the game.
Watching the football game.
How is it 4 rushing touchdowns? Oh.
So you're actively not going to win the passing bet, and you're also not going to win the under.
And you're also going to make the podcast shitty. Coming from the guy with shitty internet, you're going to make it shitty because you're not paying attention.
Make it shitty?
You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention. I was talking the whole time. I literally carried the podcast right up to talking about Simpatico.
Don't carry shit.
And you know why? You know why I'm so fucking talented? Because I'll pick it up from right where I was. So we had Simpatico in Toronto, and what would happen? This was like the first broadband internet. So what would happen is that basically if your neighbors, like you were all on a single connected wire, and if your neighbors, if everyone was like going nuts on the internet at the same time, it would slow down, which was super annoying because everyone was like, oh, you don't have to do dial-up. And then, then fucking, it doesn't matter if Tom, Dick, and Harry down the street are using it, then you're screwed. But is that better?
Tom, Dick, and Harry lived on your street?
Yeah, but I mean, if your mom picks up the phone and then cuts your internet, then it's a disaster too. So
it was still like dial-up.
People don't understand how hard we had it. We had it so hard. Kids nowadays, they don't get it, This is gonna be a rage podcast. Pat's internet's not working. I am actively like, I thought this was just a can't lose bet, and I am getting demolished. And Matt's fridge is fucking broken. And
it's not broken. It works fine. It's just in the garage. And it's real cold.
And so all his beers are starting to freeze. So all in all, it is a debacle.
Good start for the pod. All right, let's go.
Did anything happen this weekend?
Well, I had a big thing happen on Saturday.
Okay, big if true.
I really made a big life decision, and I put a futures bet on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. It was a big deal.
How many units?
15 to 1.
Units.
I put 2 units down, so it's 15 to 1. And I got in while the getting was good. I got married too. That was
I was there.
Which was confusing for me. Very confusing because I was told different information on I'd have to go to a Zoom and all this, and you guys just threw that out the window.
Well, what happened was, there was so much shit moving around because if you didn't hear, we're in a pandemic.
We are?
And we were originally wanted to get married on the 12th anyways, so we looked at each other on the 11th and we're like, you know what? Let's just do it tomorrow. So we gathered up our 2 witnesses. Matt was there for 1 witness. Had some fire camera angles, absolute fire camera angles.
Yeah,
with
that was pretty good,
while
eh?
I was recording it. He was our friend, a friend of the show, accountant Shamil was the officiant. He made an anteater reference during the ceremony. That
Can we
was fun.
pretty much call him our group? What's it? Fuck me. What's it called when the guy who no, who's the one who marries people?
Oh,
Officiant.
commissioner. Officiant, commissioner.
Commissioner. Yeah, he's essentially group's accountant / officiant.
If you got married and you have money, Sham takes care of it.
I also hope Shamil should also be a notary because I feel like that's just a cool 3 things. He's like our accountant, notary,
I still don't really know what a notary does.
Well, they write.
But they have a
notes.
stamp, don't they?
Yeah, big stamp. That's sick.
It's like an
stamp.
official note.
So yeah, basically I'm a married man now.
Well, congrats, Pat. What's changed?
The best part was after the ceremony, we get in the car and she goes, "So what do you want to do now?" I'm like, "I don't know, nothing's open. Let's just go home." And I said, "Hey, we can go home and sup, baby." And she's like, and then after she made a clever joke about my sexual prowess, we went home, had dinner, and had cake. So that was fun.
Well done,
So,
Pat.
you know, I am married. Has anything changed? No. But
Yeah,
I'm wearing a ring now. I'm a ring guy.
Pat. I just want to congratulate you as a married man and as someone whose wife does not listen to the podcast. Congratulations on ruining your life.
Pat, I don't know if we would have said this, but congrats on getting engaged after me and married way before me at this rate with COVID. You are just blowing us out of the water.
Jordan, I think that just means that you're not as serious as I am.
No, I'm not. Let's put it this way. I have irons in the fire financially right now, and I ain't changing shit. So I don't care if I'm getting married in 2025. If I don't get that money back, we are doing it the way we planned it.
Well, while I was getting married, big day for me. Jordan went for a walk. I saw.
I did. I
believe they call that a hike.
And Jordan, I must say,
yes,
as a person who's known you for quite some time, when I look at you, you scream, "I love walking in nature."
Yeah, big outdoors person. Love the outdoors. So, my fiance is someone who actually has to go out to work. She works in healthcare, so she has to go out and work every day. And recently, she had a day where she was in a big time everything is stupid, I hate everything mode, and I agreed with her. So I'm like, you know what? Let's get out of the city for an evening. So we
get out of town.
We live in a condo. And so we decided to go to
apartment.
No, it's a condo. Apartments for people like you who rent. I'm an owner. Okay. So out we go to Clear Lake. And here's something we realized. It was a ghost town. Like we actively saw 15 people. And I'm talking like with our eyes from when we got there to when we left. People who were not with your eyes and
not with your ears.
No. We saw, but the reason I bring that up,
that's so bad.
The reason I bring that up, Matt, I bring that up is Rhea and I commented on the fact that we were genuinely more socially distanced going to Clear Lake than we were in our condo building because we probably walk by / touch a button or whatever, you know, and there was no one for miles. So
that was the thing. We're like thinking like because we're gonna go away for a little honeymoon, as we'll call it, because it's not really what we wanted.
Nobody can see you do air quotes. It's a podcast.
Sorry, Matt. You couldn't see that with your ears, you bitch.
No, air quotes, not ear quotes. Air.
So yeah, we wanted to do that, and like we were talking, it's like, do we really? Like, there's nothing to do after you go for a walk.
Yeah,
which is nice. I like going for hikes. Jordan does not because Jordan hates nature.
So first of all, we woke up well past our scheduled wake up time to leave the city. So now
do you know there's this thing called an alarm?
Yeah, fuck it. So we're skedaddling out to Clear Lake, and we get there around 2. So, you know, we go for this walk, and honestly, it's not like half bad. Like I'm kind of taking a bullet here for the love of my life because she does listen to this every once in a while.
Jordan, congrats on the sex, by the way.
Thank you. So we go for this walk. And naturally, as we go for this lengthy walk, we get to a fork in the road. And as you can imagine, my sense
Better
of
that than a
direction
spoon.
as a honed
Hang on.
outdoorsman.
I knew he was gonna say a spoon joke. Sorry,
Guys, I'm trying to tell a fucking story here, right?
Oh, sorry. Could you wrap it up because it's not that good?
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, you're the one who got married through like the most cryptic tweets of all time. You were like,
Yeah, but
hey,
you
guys,
had you on the
hey,
edge
guys,
of your seat, didn't I?
I got married and I'm the Riddler from Batman trying to put this shit together.
First of all, they were not tweets. They were Instagram,
They were Instagram stories, right?
They
And
were.
the Instagram story was, hey, what do you want to do today? Go for a walk at the Forks? Great. Next Instagram story, we're dancing in the living room. I don't know what, like, cool, I'm supposed to put 10 and 15 together and get 1,000? Like, that doesn't lead us to anything.
And B, Jordan, continue your story about your walk.
So
In the spoon in the road.
we reach a fork in the road, and it is up to Jordan to make the decision on which way we should go. Now, needless to say, 30 minutes after walking in a certain direction, I decided to check my phone, and it turns out we were going towards or away from Clear Lake at this point. So we had the great moment of going for a walk, me taking us the wrong way, getting in trouble and having to backtrack, and then having to backtrack further because I took us the completely wrong way.
I would like to say, though, my favorite picture of the whole weekend and I got married was seeing Jordan with his jacket zipped up all the way to his nose and looking fucking so miserable in the cold.
Brushing off his car.
And then there's pictures of his fiance Ree, happy as a clam.
Yep.
Tale of two hikers.
You sacrifice for the ones you love, you know?
Absolutely.
But I think the reason why this whole weekend was worth it was I convinced and got Ree to enjoy playing Risk. I've
never played Risk.
As many of you, listen, you will never have to play Risk because there's, I think, 2 people per city who like to play Risk. It's like me and someone else I've never met. Every time I ask someone, they're like, no, we're not.
I would love to learn, Jordan. If you want to teach me,
Don't
I
tease
feel like
me. Pat, would you play?
100%.
Would Rayanne
I feel like
play?
that's a game I would play.
Rayanne would not be allowed to play.
Oh, but she'd be okay because Ree would play. So when COVID is over, we're doing a Risk board game night, and we're gonna play Drinking Risk, which is every time you lose a territory, you take a shot, which gets very interesting.
Blackout City, cool.
But yeah, so not only
I don't
that,
do shots.
okay. Well, not only that, but on the way home, we missed the turnoff and ended up in Brandon. So that was
so
great
Jordan.
too.
Would you say that you're total dog shit at taking directions, or
Do you know which way north, south, and east and west are?
Well,
or do you just, or because you're from Toronto, you just take the subway everywhere?
I don't spend a lot of time
Or do they
trying
call it
to
the
get
train?
in and out of Neepawa, Manitoba. So
There's literally 2 roads.
we crushed it. We crushed it on the way there. But what happened on the way back was I told Ree, hey, I got this. You can turn off the GPS. And needless to say,
No.
yeah, I made an error. I was also listening to a podcast, not this one. This one's fucking terrible, but another one, and it was pretty good. I was laughing quite a bit. So
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Big producer brain right there.
So anyway, that was my
Dog shit,
weekend.
and I turned it off.
And I got home in time to watch the Packers win again. So
that's great. Good
Knock
for
it
you.
out.
Please don't start talking about Aaron Rodgers.
No, we're not. We're gonna move on.
no, I don't want to talk about
Oh,
the NFL
one little
right now.
football note. I wanted to me and Rayanne watch Amazing Race, and D'Angelo Williams, former running back in the NFL.
Who do you play for, Pat? Who do you play for?
He played for the Panthers and then the Steelers.
Well done, Mr. Gagne.
What's up, baby?
Well done.
And
Nice.
so he
What
was.
college did he go to?
I don't know.
I don't even know that.
This isn't important. So what happened was he was eliminated. Spoiler alert! Last week, and they always do the exit interview. And the host asked him, he's like, "So was this a once in a lifetime opportunity? Did you really enjoy yourself?" D'Angelo Williams, millionaire athlete, looks at the camera and goes, "No, I hated every second of this." People would die to be on that show. Like
Low
it was
key,
their
pretty
biggest
solid
dream.
wrestler.
And he was like, yeah, wrestling reference, very good. But he was like, "No, you know what? If I were to do this, I was not having a good time. I was not having a good time. I would do this again, but I'd, pay to do it with all my money, and I'd go to a hotel and I'd do it right." And I'm like, oh, and his partner, who used to be an O-lineman with him on the Panthers, I think, he was like, "I had a good time." It's like, this is the whole show. He's like, "This is not fun."
As someone whose coworkers actually tried to get on the Canadian version of it
Mm.
and put in I'd say they probably put 4 hours into just like auditioning and filling out the forms and everything, and like making the video. And then this clown goes and says, "I hated every second of it." And the only reason he got on is because he's an athlete. Like,
Oh, funny
sorry,
story
but,
about auditioning for the Amazing Race.
We have people from Winnipeg who won.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, and I like they went to like my uncle's church. Oh, you went to school? Yeah, I coached the dad's son.
He went to university, took a couple classes with him. Nice guy.
Yeah, no, they're great. Like they're fit, and like they went to like my uncle's church, and like they're fantastic people. They sold the Corvettes.
Yeah. Also.
Oh, they did.
In case you're wondering, when you're auditioning,
Corvettes are not practical.
No.
They weren't, but the new one's fantastic.
If you're trying to audition for Amazing Race Canada, I suggest if you would like to get a call back, me and Rayanne auditioned, and in my audition video, I said, you should pick me because I'm funny and your show is not funny.
It's not. It's just very hokey.
Yeah, but we didn't. I'm pretty sure.
I thoroughly enjoy that show. Actually,
I like that show
version,
too.
I prefer the Canadian version.
It's definitely in your wheelhouse for overall like hilarity.
Yeah, like I mean, like I told Rayanne, if
was that a dig?
Wait, I don't know. I don't even know what I said.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's not
blackout.
Okay? We're having a good time. Oh, Matt, you have some Sinatra story you want to tell?
Oh,
call back from last week.
Great transition, Pat.
There's no transition from Amazing Race to Sinatra. There just isn't.
There's got to be something somewhere. Oh, maybe. Yes, there is. You just started singing New York, New York.
Okay. New York, New York, it's a hell of a town.
Okay,
no, that's not fucking sick.
That's not Sinatra.
Good God.
Not Sinatra.
He did do it his way.
There it is. Hey.
There it is.
All right, Matt, what's the Sinatra
fly
story?
me to the moon.
That's not the melody at all.
Stop singing. Just like do the Sinatra story.
Okay, so good friend of ours, Liz, shout out Liz, listens to the podcast. Only woman so far that is I know of that listens to the podcast.
That's a key demo. That's a key demo.
Big demo.
Key demo is women.
We're the demo gods of woman. How old is she?
33.
Woman between 30 and 45. Big demo gods.
So she listened because she's a big fan of Christmas. Disagrees with all Pat's takes on Christmas movies. Home Alone, Christmas movie.
So once a year she'll listen. Once a year she's gonna listen.
Oh, I love me.
Her husband also said your insistence that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie is also dumb because he would not have gone to Los Angeles had it not been for Christmas. Eat my butt, you idiot.
Oh, damn.
I added that part. I added that part. So anyways, her dad is from New Jersey. Has been here for a very long time, but was born and raised in New Jersey.
Okay.
So Liz's Nana's brother was the mayor of New Jersey. Well, not of New Jersey, because that would be the mayor of the town in New Jersey where they lived. Sinatra lived in this town. Her Nana's brother got Frank Sinatra's car repossessed because he didn't pay his city taxes. Yes, I know someone who knows someone who repossessed Frank Sinatra's fucking car.
That's a ballsy move.
Now, can I
That's
just say...
That's a good way to get killed.
Frank knew some folks, yeah.
Yeah.
Now
this was before he was famous, though.
Can I admit that you texted us earlier in the weekend? We're like, I have a good Frank Sinatra story. I got very excited, and then you told that story, and I'm like,
you know what? Maybe
it's a story.
Maybe it's the next Frank Sinatra story he has.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
What was wrong with that story?
Oh, so, just like
you. So now you're not only insulting me, but you're insulting my friend.
So basically, you said someone who you knew,
someone who I know,
knew someone
who
repossessed a car of Frank Sinatra's before he was famous.
Yes, because he couldn't pay his taxes. Mickey Blue Eyes couldn't pay his taxes.
Pat, we talked about this.
Yeah, you guys should.
Pat, we talked about this. We actively talked about this.
Whatever
I can't even remember what it was the last time we talked about not letting him do, and we fucking did it again.
Well, I also to make you feel better.
My mom thought it was interesting.
I just got a text message.
Oh, great! Yeah, no, that's. Oh, well, no, is she in the demo?
Yeah. No, she's
Nah, she's
about.
No,
older.
she's not. See, she's not in the
So-
demo. Not in
So
the
I
demo.
just got a text message from Ryan that says you're talking more about Ree and Jordan's walk than our wedding. Seriously. So I
No,
am
you didn't.
officially-
Fucking hold
I'm-
that up to the camera.
I am
Show
officially
me that. Show me. Is that,
in
is that true?
trouble. So let's talk about my wedding some more, please, guys.
It was cold. I froze my feet. I'm also allergic to the cold. When I got home, my feet and ankles broke out in
You're
hives.
allergic. You're gonna blame the cold and my wedding.
You know
on
what? Let's talk about your wedding. Did Rand ruin it with her bad attitude? Because that's what she has right now.
No, you know what ruined it? Their freaking dog.
Yeah.
Why'd
that
you
was a
bring
big
a
mistake.
dog to your wedding?
Well, we thought it would be like a really nice, thing, like the whole family there. And then she, when she wants attention, my dog, she does a very high pitched bark. So that was, if you listen to and watch the ceremony on the video.
Oh
you hear
yeah,
that- yeah.
I plan on doing that for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna get
it.
right on
Sounds
that.
like pure death, and also it was not a good decision. And then we took 2 pictures with her, and that was pretty much it. So big miss on our part. Other than that, the whole day was great. I think
Pat, how
the
long
next
did
day
your
was like
pictures
minus 25.
take?
So.
How long did your
Huh?
pictures take?
We didn't do like professional pictures. We
Okay,
just kinda did
because I
like
remember that there was a
Can't-
bit of a
it's illegal.
debacle with that before. So
Oh, and also Rand's mom was at a social distance taking pictures, and she has this. She's got a really nice camera, but she doesn't really know how to use it.
yeah, it's. I mean, like I think when it comes to the weddings, the best thing you want to do is try to kind of keep them as like brief as possible, which you did. So I'm gonna get right on watching that video, and once Pat figures out his internet, if the pictures turn out like his internet, they're gonna look like they were shot on a potato camera. Because
On a potato camera.
you know what I mean, like.
Is my internet back? Am I okay? Am I okay?
You're saying stuff. I don't know if it's okay. Like it's your internet's schizophrenic. Like I'm really not sure how it feels about much of anything. Oh my God, go Andrews. Go. Damn it. He got tackled. Anyways, am I doing better watching a game and talking than because Pat's talking over us trying to hammer through it right now, which is
Here
also
we
the
go.
hard
I think
part.
he's back. I think he's back.
I think he's back.
He's
Am I
back.
good? Am I good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
as
slightly
good as you're gonna
delayed,
get.
but at least you're okay now.
Okay.
It's
All right.
impossible to like. I'm not gonna be able to cut this. I just talked through it. We're just gonna make fun of you for having terrible internet.
Yeah, your
It's fucking
internet is
horrible.
amazing.
You know what?
It's
This
so-
is the angriest I've seen Pat since we started doing this
I'm so
podcast,
upset.
and it sustains me. This gives me
Yeah,
not.
can we just-
Pat, I'm not happy that you're mad. It's just like I respect this rage. Like
I'm a
this,
little happy he's
this
PO'd.
feeds me. Like your anger. Like I can take this and harness this because I feed
Okay.
off people's rage, and then
Okay.
it's
Am I back? Am I back?
You're back. Can we review some beers now before your
Yes,
hamster
let's do
runs
this
out of
quick.
gas?
Let's do this
Hamster
quick,
needs
okay?
to jump off for
Okay.
water.
I'm gonna go first.
Did he just run in the ball again? I don't fucking care. About
Jordan,
anything
pay
anymore.
attention.
You
Okay,
fix your
okay,
internet.
So it's fine. I'm here. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's
So,
fine. I mean, it's okay. It's not
It's better
great.
than yeah. Well, okay. So I'll start off the beer reviews.
FYI,
I
guys.
have-
FYI, before you start the beer reviews, I watched Die Hard this weekend. Super good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I had the
No,
I'm
nobody,
drinking the
no fans of Die Hard.
no, it sucks.
I feel like that's
Uh,
such a played out conversation. Like I'm glad we almost
Yeah.
didn't have it. I feel like everybody does it.
No, I'm not. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about if it's a Christmas movie. It's a good movie. I like it.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Anyways,
It's
can I do
one
my
of the-
beer review now?
It's one of the 5 best action movies of all time. My
I
opinion.
Can I do
mean,
my-
I mean,
My God. My God. Can we stop?
okay, go ahead, Pat.
Okay,
Pat's just
so-
panicking because his internet's dog shit.
Yeah,
Every
I
time
am,
we
so I wanna
interrupt
get
him, it
this done.
takes longer. Like we should. Matt, don't interrupt.
Jordan,
Pat
shut the
anymore.
fuck up. Shut up.
Wow.
Anyway, so I had the Cosmopolitan from Vessel. I got it in the 4-pack.
That was not like that's just a magazine. That's not an action movie. Like a Cosmo is just like, oh, you know what? They used to have those like, what kind of like spirit animal are you?
Jordan,
You know,
Jordan, you're frustrating me right now, and I want you to stop.
I used to take the quizzes when I'd find it in
My
Jill's
God.
room and stuff.
I
yeah.
fucking hate
Did
this
you?
right now.
what would you like? What were you like? I always got some
I am
form of like,
so
a
upset
tiger.
Right now.
you know,
I'm
but I
so
feel like I
upset.
answered.
You
'cause
are
I
a tiger,
but I
though.
feel
That
like,
makes
Matt,
sense.
I feel like I wanted to be a tiger. You know, like I didn't. I answered not truthfully, but because I felt in my heart that I wanted to be a tiger.
So this is
but I
when
think,
everybody's gonna stop listening because
I
you don't
think
shut
if
up.
I answered honestly, I'd be
No,
like
see,
a
this
dove.
is hilarious.
I'd be a dove or like a swan. But I ended up being a
No,
tiger.
you'd be a tiger.
Okay.
You'd
tiger.
be a tiger.
Okay, Okay.
Matt, can
I'd
you
probably
do
be a
your
bear.
beer
I'd
review
probably be a
first?
bear.
Matt, can you go ahead and do your beer review first?
No, let's attack
You wanna
because
let
I
Pat
feel
do
like
it?
he's going to actually explode if we don't allow him to do it.
Okay. Can I go now? Okay.
In a
So
second,
I got
I'm turning
Jordan.
off the game because it's going so poorly that I just want to change the vibe. So I've turned the game off, Pat. You have my full attention.
Okay. So I went and picked up the 4-pack of the vessel, which included the Cosmopolitan, which if you look at the can, again, great art. If you look at the side of the can, is from a Alex Workman. You can follow him at HeyWork on I guess Instagram. It is a nice stiletto shoe. I drank this, ladies and gentlemen, and I felt like I was on Sex in the City. I'm Samantha. I sleep with everybody.
You
It's
are
got that.
definitely not Samantha. You're
He's not on
Charlotte.
the show. It would be
You'd
no
be
sex,
Charlotte.
no sex in the town. That's what Pat's show would be called.
So yeah, if you ever had a Cosmopolitan, you drink this beer, has a nice mix of tasting like a Cosmopolitan and a nice strong beer. It's got that nice vessel, strong beer taste mixed in with that nice Cosmopolitan flavor. I'll just tell you, there's not much to talk about. That's what it is. It's one of those cocktail beers. It's really good. It's really refreshing. Could I drink it all night? No. Could I have 2 or 3? Absolutely. Follow me on Untapped at Pat Gagne. And you know what? On Untapped, I'm going to give this a 3.75 out of 5. Really solid effort from Vessel. I don't think I've disliked anything Vessel's done. And in that 4-pack, they have the other 3. And I'm going to enjoy every single one of them.
I
Now,
get
Matt-
why companies do this, but nothing pisses me off more than putting a
Oh.
special beer in a package because
Right?
I have. Here's the thing: if you're a craft beer, okay, I have paid premium prices for your other 3 fucking beers.
Mhm.
Don't shove the 4th beer to make me rebuy those 3 beers. Like
Right.
I'm not paying a couple bucks a beer here. So just a note, like Vessel, you've been awesome, but if you do this,
Now-
you're instantly on my shit list.
I was not
instantly
mad
on
at
my
Vessel
shit
for
list.
it. I was not mad at him for it because the 4 beers that are in there are very solid.
I know,
And
but
so-
like don't do this. Like I've
Okay.
paid money to get your beers at a premium price. Just release the beers. Like,
In
or
my
at least
humble-
release
in my
Cosmopolitan
humble
and then give us
opinion-
it drives me nuts.
In my humble opinion, their 2 best beers are not even in that pack.
Yeah, Meringue wasn't in it, eh?
Yeah.
Orangutan and Murky Buckets both aren't in the pack.
I agree.
Yeah, but I get what they were going for, right? They're going for the cocktail package,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they're going for the cocktail package, and I have it in my fridge as well.
Yeah.
But I do
You're
agree
welcome.
with Jordan. Thank you. I do agree with Jordan though. I hate when they do that.
Hate.
Yeah.
Hate.
All right, Matt. What are you drinking there, Matt?
TCB does that all the time too. They release their
That's smart.
mixer packs. It's
Yeah.
super smart. It's
Mhm.
brilliant. And TCB does have. I do like their core pours, so except that blueberry. But
All right, Matt, you're up.
am I going now? Is it my
Yes.
turn?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you're
said
going
that
Okay.
4
You're going
times.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
mentioned it a few times.
I would have heard
Turn
it.
off your eye and pay
you,
attention.
you know why you missed it? It's because Pat was busy turning into Mr. Roboto.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna
Hey,
lose
Matt,
it.
go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy.
So I had the None Shall Pass from Devil May Care. It's been a while.
That's what
since we've
Pat's
done it.
internet said to his computer.
Jesus.
None shall pass.
Go ahead.
That's
Matt, go
not
ahead.
even that funny, but it is
I know.
funny.
That's just what
Um,
keep doing it.
So we haven't done a Devil May Care in a while. I picked this up. I've been drinking a lot of stouts lately, and I've been finding I'm starting to get a little bit sick of them. I enjoy stouts, but not. I'm also a big session guy. I like to drink several beer at a time, not at a time, but in a night. So you can't really do that with stouts. But this is an oatmeal stout. You get a lot of chocolate, a lot of coffee. There's some bitter notes, so you get that bitter coffee kind of taste. Rather good, thick mouthfeel that you would expect from an oatmeal stout. It's a lot of the taste notes are saying like figs and dates.
Figs and dates.
Yeah, you're getting those notes. You are
Okay.
getting a little bit of fruit notes, but I always find it's hard to get, unless it's something tart, like a like a cherry or something. It's hard. I always find it hard to get those deep fruit notes out of stouts. That's just
Mhm.
my palate. But if you want to follow me on Untapped at Gagne Matt, I ignored it
Oh, does that
last week.
frustrate you? Is that annoying, Matt? Do you not like that?
Almost as much as your internet frustrates you. So I'll let you, if you follow me on Untapped at Gagne Matt, I'm gonna give this a 3.5. It's solid.
Mhm.
It's it's solid. I'd put it up around the Grandpa Sweater from Barnhammer. It's kind of around the same
Mm.
kind of profile, tasting notes.
Not their best stuff from there, eh?
When you have like stuff like Star Stuff and
Yeah.
even Get Up Off of That Thing and Golden Record,
Yeah, it's tough.
and then you come out with the stout, I don't know.
Mm.
They do hoppy stuff really, really well. So yeah.
Mhm.
Jordan,
Right, Jordan.
finish us off here.
I will do that. I am humming along. I have fully converted to the IPA bandwagon, and I am.
Yeah, you have.
I am.
Traitor.
Yeah, you have.
Traitor.
Nuzzling my way up to the front. Nuzzling.
Traitor.
Nuzzling.
Nuzzling.
Nuzzling?
Look that up in the dictionary. I'm gonna go really fast because I got to do the Winnipeg beer news, but I have Wavelength, the 3rd edition, Chinook Simcoe hops, very piney, very earthy citrus flavors. You've had a beer like this many times if you're an IPA person. This is a really good version of it. It's so smooth. I was jacked when I saw it was above 6%, and this is just a really solid West Coast IPA. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I would drink this.
Wow.
I would drink this like clockwork. Like if this is all they had, I would just keep drinking it because it has a really nice flavor. It's like fun to drink, as well as the fact that it's going to give you a solid buzz pretty quick. So that's going to be my quick rating, 4 out of 5.
Have you had their Desert Island?
I have. Sookrams, as you know, I had a love-hate relationship with. And then once I've really gone down the IPA path, I've found that they do that as well as their sours.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Like Desert Island is a very sessionable IPA. So.
Very good. All right, Jordan. It's time now for the Winnipeg beer news of the week.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. Big news. Pat, where do we start? As you said, I had to go way up. Here we go. Episode 20. I should probably look for this before we start. So here we go. Nonsuch has their 350 returning. It's a medium-bodied orange chocolate Belgian rye ale. There's a lot. Something called chocolate and yeast phenolics. Try it if you like to not understand what you're drinking. I think it's going to be perfect. Pat mentioned the Cosmopolitan, so I won't go over that again. But if you feel like buying a bunch of beer you've had before to try one, sure, go ahead and give that a go. Kettle sour. Okay, so this was super interesting. Stone Angel made a kettle sour that was using cheese culture to sour it for 48 hours. I feel like it's one of those things that if I see it, I will have to try it because it's so weird.
I owe it to myself.
I owe it to myself to try it. I have 2 of these next ones in my fridge, and I was going to review it on this podcast, but I thought I'd rate Dark Raspberry Sour from Sookrams, a test batch, which is Cosmos Raspberry, to my understanding, with chocolate. Trez excited. I will likely be having this on Wednesday while I'm watching some wrestling. Once again, Raspberry Cosmos is back. I have 4 in my fridge right now. Deal with it. And Vessel has released the Breadcrumb Trail, which is essentially the Pat Gagne Dream, which is a split on a Black Forest cake of chocolate and tart cherry notes. So this is the Pat Gagne, why haven't you had this yet question. Brazen Hall has released a couple of bangers, a Belgian triple coming over the top called Yol Mandarin. Can't wait to try that. And 2 more, 3 more. Jeez, we got a bunch coming on. Kilter, Always Sunny. I do hope that's a Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference. It's a coffee stout with their folks at Thom Bargain Coffee Roasters. They've been working together. I actually bought a package of beans from them when I got a Kilter order recently. Blend? I did. I got the holiday blend. It looks incredible. So they're going to be releasing a coffee stout. And Barnhammer has come back out with the Eau Grain Saison, which looks fantastic. We got notes of banana esters.
I've had it.
Have you? I can't wait to give it a. I
had it in the summer, and I did not enjoy it. And I like Earl Grey tea.
Oh, I did have it. Yeah, okay, never. I mean,
I drank
yeah,
about
so-
half of it, and I was like, it's pretty good. And then by the end, I was like, nope.
Yeah, and then
not for me.
finally, Vessel Beer has something old fashioned coming soon. That has to make me think. I mean, is it an old
an
fashioned?
old-fashioned.
That's pretty
Yeah.
on the nose. But that
An
is what we got.
old-fashioned
Pretty rapid fire
beer?
Winnipeg
Let's
beer
go.
news. But that is going to wrap it up. Pat, back to you at the studio.
Thank you, Jordan. So lively opening segment, shitty internet, great beers. We will be right back with wet breads and rocket ships.
Oh, Michael, this is going to be fun to watch.
All right, we're back. I might be back for a little bit and then cut
Yeah,
out.
we'll see. Maybe for
I can't wait for you to lose your mind.
It's the most frustrating goddamn thing because like I'm trying to hold it to keep it together and be professional, but this internet is so like Bell MTS is gonna get the biggest earful ever. Their ass is in the jackpot, and it's gonna get ugly when I call them.
It didn't help that Matt and I pretty much just like saw that you were having issues and decided to
Ruin my day even more.
exacerbate those.
Yeah, like I was sweating.
Whoa, I didn't do
sweating.
anything about what word did you use?
So I forgot
Exacerbate?
Matt's a phys ed teacher, so he doesn't know words.
That's a lot of syllables.
Pat, you know what that means, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to talk to another smart. I'm gonna move you up to the top of the screen with me and put Matt down below where he belongs.
Wait a second,
Like
you move people on the screen on Zoom?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
drag
can.
and drop faces
Yeah.
around. Oh, we're
Yeah.
about to spend 10 minutes watching Matt drag and drop everyone's faces around the screen.
Wait a second.
I do that in my work meetings all the time. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm actively repositioning you to the bottom of my screen, like as a joke to tell if I think they asked something stupid.
Okay, so
I
if Jordan's
cannot
done
do this.
interrupting me for the 13th fucking time
What?
this week. Oh my god.
What?
Okay. Okay. So anyways,
What?
don't Steve Austin me right now. Do not Steve Austin me.
What?
Don't do that. Okay. So wet breads, rocket ships. Matt, I feel like you have a good rocket ship this week, so I'm going to let you go first.
You feel like I have a good rocket ship?
Yeah.
Oh
Am I
god.
wrong? Am I wrong?
Well, okay, I'm gonna give. Nobody's gonna do these if we talk about him every week. But Roman Reigns is fire. His feud with Kevin Owens is fire right now. Jey Uso in there. That's not my rocket ship. That's an honorable mention because that's just a given every week.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
But because I know you guys don't usually go to Raw or SmackDown. Well, you don't usually go to Raw for your
Mhm.
rocket ships. We're doing
Right.
rocket ships, right?
Yes.
I'm like half listening to you. I have been really into Drew McIntyre's had a great year. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
we all can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like January wins the Royal Rumble was great. All the way now we're in December. He's the champ. He won the belt back. But they're doing a low key story. It's low key. Everybody knows it's kind of coming, but they're doing a bit of a low key story here with Sheamus and how
Yeah.
they're buddies.
Mhm.
They're obviously inching towards Sheamus turning on him,
Yeah.
and them going to a little program there. But they're doing it very not WWE ish.
Thank God.
Normally they would rush this, but last week they got into a little spat after they lost the match, and then backstage guy, I'm not going to remember his name. I love how they've all of a sudden given all the backstage guys names. Like Adam Pearce is like.
Well, that's Adam Pearce is well known, but that's cool.
No, I know he's well known, but apparently this other guy is too.
Well known to
Apparently this
who?
other guy is too.
I know who he was.
Yeah, but I mean, you're
I had to look him up, but once I looked him up, I did. But
Oh,
anyway,
like the
Okay.
average person's
Uh,
gonna have no fucking clue who Adam Pearce
yeah.
is.
But so this guy tries to break them up. So they put him through a table. They put him through the catering table in the back, and then
Right.
they'll laugh and walk off.
Mhm.
I just thought it was really well done. I really like the way they're going about it. I really like that it's not your typical Raw storyline where they're
Are you
just
saying
rushing
it's?
through
Are you
stuff.
saying it's something different? They never do that.
I'm saying it's very much like the way wrestling should be booked.
Wow. Big
which
of truth.
Which is again not really a Raw thing to do.
No.
So Drew
All right.
McIntyre, great year. Probably will be on our list in a couple of weeks.
All right. Jordan, up to you. Who's your rocket ship of the week? Or what
Oh,
is?
Boy, my rocket ship, he said, quickly clicking into his
Is it a
phone.
her?
Okay.
Please be a her.
No, it's not yet. I thought the rocket ship, I have a few, so I'm just gonna run through them quickly. Really quickly, Wardlow's reaction to the staring at me comment, and then their back and forth was absolutely hilarious. So Wardlow needs to talk more. If that's what he's hiding is that much like incredulous charisma.
Doesn't
then-
sound as dumb as I thought he
No,
would sound.
Wardlow, it's like at first I was like, okay, Wardlow's just another big guy, but if he can talk, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like we're talking
That's a top star
we're
money.
talking like a shade below Karrion Kross levels of rocket ship level right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, thank God he is
They're back. Yeah.
And what I really like is they're not just tossing him in with Finn right away. They're
Yes,
gonna
I
let
like
him murder Damian Priest, which warms my heart. They're just gonna let him tear Damian Priest limb from limb.
To be fair to Damian Priest, his character is strong enough right now that he can take that loss and keep going.
Hope not. And finally, NXT's opening segment this week was fantastic.
Is this your rocket ship?
This is my true rocket ship.
Okay.
I loved having each guy come out and then clearly positioning Priest, O'Reilly, and Dunn. I love their little back and forth in the ring. I like that they quickly moved it to Priest, and we know what's coming, and now we can really get excited for it. It's going to be Priest and Cross, and it's going to be Dunn and O'Reilly. And
that's
O'Reilly.
Oh lordy.
Someone's getting hurt in that match. Someone's getting hurt.
If I'm getting goosebumps. Dunn O'Reilly is going to be a slobber knocker wrestling fan wet
You're
dream.
gonna beat the ever living piss out of each other.
That's the new age wrestling that everybody's gonna love to see, and it's gonna be spotlighted properly.
I loved it. For those of you who really enjoy that wrestling, go back and watch Walter versus Dragunov. Just watch wrestling.in. Off you go. But that's my rocket ship. My true rocket ship is that opening segment and the clear path NXT is putting us on, which should end with more rocket ships. I think it's fantastic. Except I do have one quick question. What with Finn then? Like, where do you put Finn and all that?
Give him one little filler. Someone just steps up to the plate. And
I want my thought process is I wonder if they give us Dunn Riley on like sooner rather than later. I think it's next week.
Oh, if it's next week, then
I
don't think you get
I think it's next
if
week.
It's next week, they don't have a winner, and I think you bunch those three guys together.
Or are you waiting? Are you waiting for? So you're gonna do
Priest.
Dunn O'Reilly, and then the week after you do Cross and
Damian,
Priest,
did you do a
and then the two winners of that
face off, and off they go to Finn.
I'll be into that.
I think that fits into Finn, like kind of being the king of the castle and watching everyone fight over it. Also, quick shout out. I thought Thatcher, the stuff that's happening with Thatcher and Ciampa right now, I love too. I think it's fantastic. So I think NXT is like knocking it out of the park recently. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
when your mid card it can be as important as NXT has made their mid card.
Remember when we were worrying how thin they were? Do you remember? Wasn't that like a month ago? We were like, oh my god, they had
a lot of injuries. Now guys have come back.
Guys have got to step up too, and there's guys are doing it. So it's the way to go do it.
McAfee did a great job making two guys like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and they brought back the grizzled young veterans who I love.
Yeah.
There's so many things on
that.
I look forward to NXT more than AEW as a show. Like AEW I like for spots right now, but like NXT's just like NXT's weakest part right now is the women.
Yeah. There's just
I never thought I'd say that.
I feel like they're starting to heat that up again. So
yeah, it's good. It's good. Pat, over to you if your internet can handle it.
Yeah, hopefully. My wet bread is my internet. So I kind of just stumbled into my rocket ship this week. I was
that's the best ones, baby.
I was going through some highlights, trying to just kind of rewatching some things, and then I stumbled upon Talking Smack this week. And
I know where I know where you're going.
The interaction between Paul Heyman and Big E.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, let's go. I wrote it down because I thought it was so perfectly worded and so
that has to happen. That has to happen.
Here it is. So Heyman is talking to Big E because everybody's questioning, is Big E going to be anything? Can he be the star? He's away from the New Day. So Heyman said this: you have to accept that New Day will be a footnote in the story of the greatness of Big E. If I may prove my case, I may ask you a rhetorical question. When was the last time Roman Reigns was in the ring and anyone mentioned the Shield.
Mm.
Now, this is important. I find this because the rocket ship is because Heyman believes in Big E. Heyman is not a part of creative, I don't think, but he has some pull backstage. I think he kind of I want to work with that guy, and then they kind of build their own storyline. They kind of give him free reign of him and Roman. Now, if this is the rub Big E needs, up for debate, but I think it's a step in the right direction. He does his own chalk thing. He brought that back. Big E is a player. Now, can you push Big E to the point where he breaks away from the New Day and becomes not on Roman's level, but as top notch as Roman? I hope so, because I think I see it. I see the charisma. He's got the comedy act to him. He can go heel. He can go face. He can do both. The potential is really there. Now, my question is, how do you push Big E to that other stratosphere? Is he the winner of the Royal Rumble? I think that's a little too clear. I think that's a little too easy, the easy way out. I think he needs to battle his way to get there. I think Keith Lee wins the Rumble. I think Big E fights his way to a championship opportunity.
I think it's like, how long did it take Roman?
Not long.
But I mean, Roman was the guy, but how long until, as a fan, you like accepted the fact? I think it was like when he did this.
I'm not gonna lie though. The second I saw Roman Reigns with the Shield,
right,
I knew that guy was going to be the guy.
Matt, go ahead. You probably have a good take on this. I know you've been stewing.
There's two things. Number one, I agree with you. I do not think Big E should win the Rumble. But I think that
is too on the nose.
But Matt, if he wins the Rumble, are you upset?
Kind of.
No.
I don't think I am. You know what? I kind of didn't want McIntyre to win the Rumble, but the way they did it worked so well this year.
Yeah, I think it's all about how you present the win in the Rumble.
Big E has now you compared him to Roman Reigns. Here's my second take. I think Roman Reigns is on a different level, and if Roman Reigns can continue to harness what he's doing right now and can make this longevity, we're talking about a guy that's in the top 10 all time.
I think we're talking Cena again. We're talking like that level of carrying the company.
We're talking Cena, but we're talking a guy who's been made a heel, and we'll get to a point where he'll be so popular they'll turn him face.
So we're talking The Rock.
You know what? Yes. I wouldn't even go The Rock. Yes. I would say Austin.
We're getting into Austin territory a little bit.
But I think we have to be careful. Austin is like pulled the mainstream back into wrestling and made it pop. Now I see what you're saying, but I think that's the key difference between, like, if you want to say Rock, I think Rock was like the 1B to Austin's 1A for that. Yeah. So I think, here's the thing: there are some people who are saying that wrestling, that like coming back to the forefront turn is there. It's gonna come.
Look. I think in the next 10 years, I think you have your main guys there. I think you have McIntyre. He's got the look. He's got the charisma.
I think
he can do it.
is the key.
I think you have Roman, who's there. I honestly believe if you position him right and you do this build correctly, Big E has it.
Okay, so
I'm just asking historically. Like, I think because in wrestling things tend to go in cycles, right? So I think if Romans are Austin,
we're getting towards that.
So if Romans are Austin or Romans are Rock, I keep trying to think of like where does Big E fit in, and what if Big E's just a whale on the mid card? Like, what if he's just that guy?
You know what Big E is?
What?
Big E's Triple H.
Yeah, and like that's the thing I see.
But slot him in anywhere, and it's going to be great.
Nothing wrong with being Triple H.
No slot. Like, what do you mean by Triple H? I want you to expand on why you think. Like, I don't know.
Triple H could be a heel. He could be a face. He's a bit of a stopgap
I think Big E would be a whale of a heel. I think he'd be a fucking dope heel.
But I think you have two guys in the company right now, one on each show, on SmackDown and Raw, who are very similar, but yet different enough that people can. I think you have Drew McIntyre on Raw, who's a guy who you can throw in your upper card and just continue to put him there. And I think Big E's that guy on SmackDown.
And I think
that's where he's destined to be. He's a wrestling guy. He's not a mainstream guy.
I need to see Big E against Roman in a one-on-one match. And if you can watch that and go, I can watch that 5-6 times in a year.
Then that's your Triple H guy.
Yeah, then that's your guy. I want to say it's him.
You have that. Big E sells so well.
Look at this. I mean, Heyman said 2 sentences, asked one rhetorical question, and already we start discussing, is Big E that guy? And I think that's
because Heyman's
He makes you
Yeah,
think. He
Heyman's
makes you believe.
Heyman,
right?
Heyman is what I think draws adults into wrestling. I think
Yeah.
like Vince is so focused on selling, and I think Heyman's job is to keep like the thinking man in wrestling. That's why I respect him so much.
Heyman is for us, right? Like the older
Yeah.
fan that needs that callback to
What?
the old time.
Yeah.
Just going back to this comparison to sort of the Attitude Era-esque. So the Attitude Era was spurred because little Hulkamaniacs had become adults and wanted more
Yeah,
adult
it's like a
TV.
classic business cycle where you get them young and move up. McDonald's
Who
been
did we
fucking
have
running
10
that for years.
Yeah. Who did we have 10 years ago at the top?
John Cena.
John friggin' Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena is kind of a Hulk Hogan clone.
Yeah.
Now we're moving towards more of an edgier time where you have it's that
Cyclical, right?
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's that
can't
cycle.
wait to see what 18A wrestling looks like in 2030. Because we are going to look back at the Attitude Era and be like, this is 18A wrestling.
Yeah.
Someone's going to say the F word on, like, someone's going to say, and I say the F word on purpose right now because someone will say it and we're all going to be like, oh, he said fuck on television. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not HBO. Like, I don't know. I just can't because you get canceled for so many things you did in the past. So I'm interested to see what the WWE tapes as edgy. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it'll be interesting to see.
I think that's a good wrap on the rocket
That was
ship.
an awesome, guys.
yeah.
I just want to say that was a really good rocket ship segment there.
Good job, Pat.
Credit to us. Way to go, Pat.
It's because I'm a married man. I picked good segments. I'm a changed man.
No, when you're in it, it doesn't cut out. You're a pretty good
Yeah,
addition
When
to
I
the
can
podcast.
actually make it out.
Yeah.
No, Matt, don't do that. You're gonna give Pat PTSD.
Yeah. All right. Matt, hit us up with your wet bread. I would like to go last with this, and I would like some time on
I might steal yours, Pat.
Oh, if you steal it, Matt, don't steal it. Don't steal it.
Oh, steal it.
I
Steal
don't
it.
know if I'm
Cuck
stealing
him.
it.
Then do it. Just do it, and let's see what the chip's like. Cuck him.
Okay, so we talked about Roman a lot. This pissed me off this week
Oh boy.
to no end. AEW comes back with Sting.
Oh, okay. It's not what I have.
Okay, it's not. AEW comes back with Sting. What's WWE do? They get, and don't tell me they didn't get Bill Goldberg to do this. Bill Goldberg goes and cuts a promo on Roman Reigns.
I hate if they do
Bill
Goldberg
Goldberg
Roman at
thinking he's in the
WrestleMania,
same-
burn the whole company down.
You know what?
Bill
If they
Goldberg
put
thinking he's in the same league as Roman Reigns right now, or that he was Bill Goldberg at his peak, might have been able to hang with Roman right now. Roman is on that kind of level, in my opinion.
You know what? If I see Bill Goldberg against Roman Reigns on the card, I am literally going to pause my recording, wait till that match is over, and then skip it because I want
out
no
of
part
protest.
of it.
Out
I
of
want
protest.
no part of that match.
And if we're doing a YouTube watch along for WrestleMania, which we want to do, to be honest, I don't know how, like we'll see how many people watch it, but that's the plan.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. We'll skip it and fuck reactions. All right, out of protest.
I would only enjoy that match if Roman squashes.
Oh, I would
But
love
then
that with the
why
spear.
bother? It's just such a waste.
Because then you just bury him and it's over.
I know,
just
but
get
like,
out of it.
but that just makes us happy. But it doesn't move the company forward, right? Like, it's the worst thing they could do if they
I
are.
don't know what I don't know what pisses me off more, my internet or that or Bill Goldberg being back in wrestling. I hate that. I hate Bill Goldberg coming back.
Why
it should
is
be
he back?
done.
I'll tell you why he's back, because the WWE looks around at
Sting and went.
No, they shouldn't even look at Sting. Just look at the Roman heat and just look. All they got to do is find someone who can further the angle of the chief of the table, the head of the table. They don't need Goldberg. They're looking at it like, hey, we need a big name to put in the match. No, you just need someone else to further the head of the table angle. And that's all you need. Just keep moving Roman forward. You don't need. It's not boxing or
I hate to see it. I hate to say it, but if you're gonna further that, you don't do it with Bill Goldberg. You do like what you did with Hulk Hogan at his peak. You feed
Feeding
him
him
guys.
heels.
Feed
You're
him
feeding them
guys.
faces.
Yeah,
Feed him guys that are
They did
reputable and
great.
guys that he should be.
Who was the first guy?
and give someone a rub. Like, just look
Uso.
around the locker room. For example, who could be an interesting rub? Biggie.
Yeah,
That's an
I
interesting.
don't want that to be a
But that's an
I don't want
interesting.
that to be a
I think Big E is destined to win the Intercontinental title and just kind of.
You're telling me
there for a
Big
little
E
while,
can't
but-
take a loss to Roman in a good match as the guy who's fighting the good fight for
I
the
think he
locker
can.
room?
You know
that
what? I
fits
don't
him
think-
You know what?
perfectly.
Drew McIntyre losing to Roman Reigns elevated Drew McIntyre.
I want the Miz to come in, cash in, beat Roman, and then Roman chases his ass and strikes fear into the Miz for 2-3 months.
No,
I don't like that at all.
that those storylines don't match up. Like Miz is too comical for that.
I think you could turn it on. But all right,
Hey,
Matt,
guys,
are we done talking about
hold
Bill?
on.
What's that?
No, I have one more thing. Is Brock busy?
Brock wants no part of wrestling in a pandemic.
Okay, because if there's one name
I
of
agree with
someone
you,
who
though,
should
Jordan.
take an L,
Oh, but that's the
to
guy.
Roman,
For sure.
he's
I agree with
guy.
you. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And that's the guy. Vince did.
Because
Or
there's no
all
more
the
head of the
internet has
table
said
than
one
beating
thing.
Brock.
The other guy that I think Roman needs to beat is The Rock, but The Rock is not coming back unless there's fans.
Oh,
Which I
okay.
think there will be by the time the WrestleMania comes around.
No. The Rock wants 90,000 people in a
in
stadium.
Miami.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Jordan, you're up. What about your
Can you
wet bread?
imagine that pop in Miami?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's-
god.
but then again, it's Florida. They already have 25% capacity, and they're not even getting vaccines yet. Like, we're gonna have. I bet you we'll have fans for the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have fans for the Rumble.
Fans for the Rumble.
At
All
Tropicana.
right, so my wet bread is the Sting promo that was cut this week.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? I was a big fan of it, but I could see why people would not be.
So you
Why?
come out
For nostalgia purposes?
You come out and Sting says nothing and has one of the best entrances. He looks so intimidating, right?
Jordan.
And Sting says fucking nothing, right? And I didn't even grow up with Sting. And I was like, oh my God, that guy opens his mouth and he might as well just take his credibility and shoot it into the sun because his mouth doesn't match who he is. It doesn't match it at all. And he starts talking. He's talking like he's still blonde hair Sting. And he's cutting. And I think I saw an Instagram video of him brushing his teeth or something. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? It is objectively terrible. And it's like, okay, you come back, you have your grand entrance, and now, like, Sting, it's not that he shouldn't talk because he's necessarily bad at it. It's either that they put him in the wrong situation and, like, didn't give him good direction on where they wanted to go, or they have zero plan and they're just fucking winging it. So I thought that was a total miss, like an outright call-out miss. That whole promo, I thought was way off base and actually like really fucked up last week's special moment. But Matt, go ahead.
You're talking about him talking and how it ruins it. The Crow Sting was the best.
He never
best
talked,
incarnation
didn't
of the thing, and he didn't talk for 6 months.
Then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
He literally didn't set foot in the ring for 4.
Well, okay, so
He came, and I agree. Before you go, and you're right. He comes out 2 weeks ago, doesn't say a word,
Incredible.
looks at 3 people, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then he comes out this week, and you're like,
Why?
Okay, so here's where the side I see. I get what you guys are saying. I don't disagree with you, but what Sting? I mean, I used to watch TNA periodically when he was there, and this is who he was on TNA. And I don't think at this stage Sting wants to be just the Crow who doesn't speak. And I mean,
Okay,
would that be the best? No, but seriously, would that be the best Sting? I'm 100% on board with that. But he comes in and he's gonna push things forward. And in my opinion, if he would have showed up at Winter's Coming, did his little thing, stare at the 3 guys like Jordan talked about, and then disappeared for 2 months,
"Oh, perfect."
and then every once in a while you see him up in the rafters with Darby Allin, I'm 100% on board with that. But in 2020, he's a nostalgia purpose. Comes in, you needed that. He had that moment with Tony Schiavone, which I thought was kind of nice.
That was the
I thought
only
that
part
sucked. I actually
That
thought
was
that
the only
sucked.
part I even remotely kind of enjoyed.
I hated that, and it's not because of Tony, but it's like that doesn't fit the character who came out last week. Like, hey man, can you give us one more? It's Sting. Like, what are you at a fucking convention?
In my head,
it's
I
brutal.
last- I think-
guys.
I think the last-
yeah.
I think
It's
the last
oh my
time,
God.
brutal.
but the last
I-
time you guys saw Sting was the Crow. I've seen him on TNA, so I knew.
No, the
this
last
was
time
coming.
I saw Sting was in the Wolfpack, and I hated
Like,
that.
have
too.
some balls, Tony Khan. Like, if he's coming in and he's gonna not do what he should do as a character, like, you have to almost protect guys from themselves, right? Like, you don't trot out like fighters who are past their prime who are gonna get knocked out.
I don't agree with that. I think Sting's earned the right to kind of do whatever the fuck he wants.
You know what that is? That's how you give out bad contracts to 35-year-old quarterbacks and offensive linemen. But that's my point. Is like you're degrading your show. You're devaluing the quality of your show.
I think anytime you put Sting on the TV, you pop a rating, and I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, you're popping a rating, but is AEW about ratings?
Yes, they have to be.
I mean, maybe against NXT, but like, and their needle didn't move that much. And if it did, it's going to move back down.
I want AEW to be the gateway for the indie stars that don't necessarily fit WWE's model. And I understand that's not ratings, but I feel like that's why it was started. And all of a sudden it's like Tony Khan's, and I understand he has a shit ton of money and he can do whatever he wants, but
with AEW, just give us what we want, but I don't mean in terms of wins and losses. What I mean is like give us the matches we want to see and give us the characters that fit that fit the idea. And that's all I want from AEW. Just give us like what we mentally just get the read of the fans and give us what we want, but not in terms of outcomes. Give me what we want in terms of quality matches from non-WWE talent. But you can't tell me the Sting that like continuity wise, Pat. This made no sense to have first week Sting, the second week Sting did not line up.
But Sting, since he left WCW, has been this, and then he's been back, and he's been quiet, and he's been loud, he's been crazy. He's a different sounding.
Then you have to establish that as like clearly.
But if you watch and follow his career, you know that's what's coming.
How many people are doing that? His career spans eons. How many people are gonna like?
I think people know that. I just think I do. I honestly do.
All right. It's fine.
I know his career back from the 80s and early 90s. Honestly, blonde-haired Sting, I don't want blonde-haired Sting. And that's what I feel like I'm getting. So
I think at this point in your career, you're going to get a little bit of everything just because that's where he is.
Okay. Well, I hope Darby enjoyed that 1 week rub because it's terrible.
Okay. So I'll finish out my wet bread. This is the Pat's Internet match of the week.
Oh, wow. Should we change it to Rocket Chips and Pat's Internet? Like instead of my friends.
So the Pat Internet match of the week. Good God.
I love that. That's gonna be a thing.
It led off at AEW. It was the Young Bucks against the Hybrid 2. First of all, the Hybrid 2 should not be on TV. They are the internet, the Pat's Internet on TV. Okay. I'm so tired of going back to this. I hate so few things in wrestling now. I do love wrestling, but the Young Bucks, they should not be allowed to be the architects of their matches. They should not be allowed to produce their own matches. It was a clusterfuck of spots. Everybody was waiting for a spot. It was a tag team match. It's not a tornado tag match. Everybody was in the ring all the time. The ref might as well not have been there. I was so shit mad at the fans for every time there was a spot coming.
Mad.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just upset.
No,
go.
They
would do this. Every spot. No one gives a fuck. And you can have one spot. You can have two spots, but every 20
we
seconds
have to go to Florida
spot.
At some point,
Okay?
and go to a show and just have like anti-Young Bucks shit.
I will lay off
young sucks sign
everywhere.
I lay off the Young Bucks sometimes because they do have good matches. When they're against FTR slows them down, makes them have a classic tag team match.
They need an opponent that's going to do that.
But if you bring in the Hybrid 2, who are big in Mexico,
might as well be the Hybrid who. I don't know who gives a fuck.
And they're very much the lucha style. I don't like that style. And when they come in and they get weird shots at titles and at tag teams that they have no business being in the ring with, in my opinion, like there's just no tags. And then they kick out of every signature spot of the Young Bucks. I hate that shit. They have to stop doing that. It takes away all credibility for every move the Young Bucks have. Who are your champions, for Christ's sake? The Young Bucks make no sense when they are in charge of their entire match.
And the Young Bucks make sense in only one way and one way only. They have consistently the same matches with the same opponents. When they have this type of opponent, they're going to have a spot fest tornado tag that is passed off as a regular tag match.
It's embarrassing. Like you guys talk about, you think the Sting promo was embarrassing? This was embarrassing. This is your champions. You're pushing a tag division in your company, and you trot out these two teams who don't highlight tag team wrestling. There was no tags. There was no logical tag team strategy.
And
It was
yet,
just jumping.
and yet you have FTR and what were the blondes? The young
Varsity Blondes.
Oh
which I
yeah,
love.
Varsity Blondes.
Love that
like,
team.
who
Love them.
have
Okay.
a decent tag match, but everywhere on the internet I read, people were like, it was okay.
And that's what's wrong with what the Young Bucks are doing, because they make that seem like the norm, in my opinion. I love the Brainbusters. I love, even Matt and Jeff and Edge and Christian had matches. Did they have spots? Yeah, but it wasn't every 30 seconds. You
Those
built
matches
to those
were
spots.
so well put together.
And I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette, who hates everything, but this was awful, and it wasn't worth putting on TV.
Did you watch the whole thing, Pat?
The whole match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the problem.
Yeah, but I'm watching the whole thing because I'm writing down notes of why this is so bad.
But you're still watching.
But because I want to watch the rest of the show, and this is the first match. And you know how many people would tune out if they didn't like that and stop watching the show?
Just like Jordan when he sees Abandon.
Abaddon.
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 I don't want to talk about it. Guys, can I give you a quick update? There's been 8 touchdowns in this football game, all of them rushing.
Nice.
So the under is dead.
The under's dead. Both either Baker or Lamar over 2 touchdowns or above won me a chunk of money. That's not going to happen either. So this is officially a debacle. And I'm just going to have to think about everything that I've
If you
ever
look in the
loved.
dictionary under debacle,
It's my
this
face.
betting night
It's my
comes
face in this night of betting.
All right,
Yeah.
Jordan, I'm going to need you to pull up Bleacher Report, because next segment we're going to do flight. and
I
Pint.
have my research. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Can't
And
wait
we'll
to
be
win
back.
this next one.
it's
We'll be
probably the
back.
Bulldog list.
How'd you? Is that bad?
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
And we're back. Our last segment. A nice flight and a pint for y'all. Let's get sexy. Jordan seems to think he won last time.
Knows he won. He's well aware.
No, I
Congratulations.
believe all social media platforms decided that you did not
I
necessarily.
and I
win.
also believe if you did win, that's the first one you ever win.
I have a big issue with how it was done. Patch graphic didn't indicate it was a snake draft, and B, patch graphic didn't indicate. Also, patch graphic showed who picked what, which leads to bias amongst the people responding.
Oh, and also I did put in the description on the Twitter.
No one reads
post.
that.
Well, then you're stupid. So
Also, Jordan, for the record, I voted for you.
That's tough to argue with. Well, at least you're on the right side of history.
But let's see how this week goes. Jordan, I give the parole to you.
La parole.
Pat, we're going to do something that's really tough to do this week. We're going to take a flight. All right. But by a flight, I mean, we're going to go to a brewery, because whether we go to a brewery or we try to get on a literal plane, it doesn't matter. Now, are we talking about a plane that you send over to Russia and there's not enough seats for them to bring players over for the World Juniors? We're not. All-time move by Canada, by the way, if you heard about it. They sent a plane that didn't have enough to hold the people to bring them to do the World Juniors. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
But what we're doing this week is a flight and a pint of Air Canada, of WestJet, of Canadian wrestling personalities. That's right.
You're gonna good intro.
You're gonna pick a Flair. You're gonna pick. I'm running out of a Swoop, a First Air. I'm running out of options. A Bearskin Airlines.
Wow, you went deep on this.
You're gonna pick the plane my dad used to take me up in because he used to have his pilot license. A Piper single prop Cessna. You're gonna pick 5
drug smuggling plane.
Canadian big time drug smuggling plane. You're gonna pick your 5 best Canadian personalities, snake draft style. Pat, back to you. Only if you can bring enough hockey players back into Canada with a plane you're sending. That was so funny. Can you imagine sending a plane and it getting there and the guys being like, this can't hold the people and stuff we have, and Air Canada being like, that's on us, guys. See you in 8 hours. Because
Classic Air Canada,
right? They probably sent a Boeing 737 cheap fucks. Just load up a 767 and put that bitch over there.
Yeah. All those numbers made so much sense to me.
I love airplanes. I like big airplanes.
All right, so Jordan, since you won last time, Jordan will be picking last.
No, you only
Yeah.
did that so I wouldn't take the first pick. Yours, okay, fine. Matt's going first.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt,
So
you're
you
going
don't
first.
get Bret Hart, you fucking dummy.
All right, Matt, you're up.
Oh, look at
I don't
Pat's
wanna
on
go first.
Pat's on tilt already. Because
I'll go
Pat did
first.
this because he
No,
knew
I'm
I'd
fine.
take Bret Hart first.
Matt's going first.
Pat's going second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan's
Yeah.
going
How about
first.
that, Pat? That didn't work out how you wanted, did it?
No, I came prepared, so I'm fine.
Yeah. Suck on that,
You came
Sally.
prepared, but like you want Bret Hart, right?
Oh, I would love Bret Hart, but if he's not there, I have many other choices.
I mean,
I don't believe
really,
he was
the
okay with
top.
this for a second.
I really do feel like the top two. First of all, I don't think there's a wrong answer in the top two, and
I
second,
don't
of all,
think a top three. I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I would say top four. I would say top five. In fact,
Thank
I'd say
God
the
I
top
picked
15.
one and six.
There's no wrong answer.
Thank God I
Top
picked
15.
1 and 6. I feel like I would have messed up if I went 3-4.
All right, Matt. So
All right.
who are you going
So
with?
in this flight and a pint of Canadian wrestlers, all-time Canadian wrestlers, with the first overall pick in this flight and a pint, I'm gonna leave him for you, Pat. I'm gonna
Good
leave
for
him
you.
for you.
Are you kidding
Because-
me?
I want Chris Jericho.
Oh,
You're fucking.
Jesus.
This is so stupid.
okay.
So why would we have you pick first then?
Because I knew he would.
I don't know,
out.
guys. I was
Fucking
just told
coward.
to pick
What a
first.
coward.
I was just told to pick first. Chris Jericho is overall, in my opinion, better than Bret Hart.
That's you know what, Matt. I don't disagree with you. I think at that point, Jericho, Bret Hart, it goes preference wise. I think that's what it is.
No, I think if you look at the pedigrees, the work,
Wrong
the
finisher.
lasting power, the what?
Wrong finisher. He did the walls of Jericho.
Not the pedigree. It's a joke,
No.
Matt. Just continue. Jesus Christ.
You know it's a
If you
joke.
look
Your
at-
listening ability.
I was trying to make a point and you interrupted me. Whatever. Just pick Bret Hart. And Jordan, then you're going to pick Rowdy Piper. And then.
Hey,
No,
whoa,
what are you
the
doing?
fuck
Shut
are you
up!
doing?
God, I'm
You guys want
never
to keep
gonna let
interrupting
you
me?
do
You want to
any
keep
of these ever
interrupting me?
again.
You want to make a mockery of this? I will make a complete mockery of this.
All right, so I'm selecting Bret Hart. Bret Hart was a 5-time WWF champion. He was one of the most polarizing personalities in WWF during the Attitude Era. When he had his Hart Foundation gimmick, he was huge in Canada, hated in the States. Great storylines with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was also, if you were looking at this, Matt, this is why I was going to pick him number one if I had the number one pick. He was actually on the
Because
CBC
you would
list.
literally,
He was
you
a
would literally
finalist.
get
Why are you
down on both
interrupting me?
knees for him.
Okay, so he was in a finalist list for CBC Greatest Canadian of All Time. What he was doing on that list, I have no goddamn idea, but he was on that list. So, in my opinion, Bret Hart is the top Canadian wrestling.
So was Hal
personality.
Anderson.
To
Hal
even
Anderson
be
was on that list.
be up there with Elvis Stoico is such an honor. That's a
All
big
right, Jordan,
time.
you're up.
Hal Anderson was on that list, Pat. That
Well,
doesn't
he rigged,
mean.
he rigged that vote.
Yeah, because Bret Hart didn't. Bret Hart had a
Anyway.
column in
Is
the
it
Sun.
still my turn?
You know how
Yeah,
many
it's your turn, Jordan.
degenerates read this Sun?
I have to choose just the order I want to do this in and who I want to pick first. Now, I'm going to pick this person first just because they meant more to me. And then I'm going to pick the person who I think should be third, fourth, because I just didn't know them as well. So my first pick is going to be Edge.
Good pick.
Yeah,
Damn
big.
it.
I was a big fan of Edge.
I didn't expect him to fall, but
Edge was someone who I thought was at his limit. It was interesting. I thought Edge was like just going to be a tag team guy, and him and Christian had great charisma. And then he really excelled when he broke away. And I think what else has been impressive is his fight to come back to the business. Like his Rated R Superstar, he should have been around for a long time. And
You
it was
know what?
super cool. That pop at the Rumble,
Nuclear
I'll never
heat.
forget.
I look at Edge. I was looking at these guys in strictly Canadian terms, and Edge going on those northern tours back in the day, that screams Canada. And
you
I
do
think
know
that's
Chris
why.
Jericho did that too, right?
And
I know
Christian.
that's why Chris Jericho should be
And
top
Lance.
2. I'm just saying.
I thought we weren't name dropping.
Sorry, yeah, I fucked that up
for
big time. I fucked. Yeah,
You
but
got
that's
just-
chastised for the
yeah,
same
but
thing.
that was my first. That was my first offense. You do this every fucking podcast. Pat,
All right,
move the
Jordan.
camera
Yeah, it's
back
my
to the
thing.
middle. You're like shoving your
Sorry,
your
it's my
surface all over the place.
Sorry, Jordan, you're up for your next pick.
Thanks. And this is the one that probably should have been third, but I'm going to take seconds. Roddy Piper. As many might not know, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, baby,
Former student at Windsor Park Collegiate.
big if true. No way to confirm that completely, aside from
I read the book.
aside
Wikipedia.
from numerous different sources. But I mean, what a heel, what a baby face.
What a
guy,
talker.
The guy played both sides. His biggest downside in wrestling was giving Ronda Rousey the ability to use his gimmick. But beyond that, the
Yeah,
guy
he didn't give her that. No, that was her family did.
Yeah. His
okay,
family.
but all I know. Oh right, he was super dead. Okay,
Yeah.
anyways, Roddy Piper.
Wow.
What he was he not dead?
Yeah, he was dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was. I mean, you're either dead or you're super dead. So yeah.
Jesus.
Speaking of, this list is gonna have a lot of that. But anyways, Roddy though, natural causes. Thank God. I mean, every once in a while, it's.
Now, Jordan, my top 3 Roddy Piper quotes.
You know what, Pat? This is more of a you thing, so you go ahead.
So,
yes, please.
top 3 Roddy Piper quotes. I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Did he coin that?
Yes.
No.
In a movie, it said. In a movie.
I didn't know that. That's
it was
awesome.
ad-libbed in a movie, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yes, and next quote. Just when they think they got the answers, I change
the questions.
And
that's
finally,
all time.
My favorite Roddy Piper quote, maybe not be for everybody, but don't throw rocks at a man with a machine gun. Amazing.
Can I tell you a great quick story? I was in a class once of a professor who, for my job, who his final exam was making students write questions to answers, and he said that to his class. Amazing. And I almost jumped out of my chair. I was supposed to just quietly sit in the back. I just wanted to get a feel for what the guy does. I almost threw my computer in the air. So that guy became a huge hero of mine. But that's my 2 picks. I believe Pat.
Yes.
Pat is up.
Now this may be a little bit of a pander pick. I think he just deserves
not you pandering.
Okay, listen here, Jordan. Calm down.
No.
Yeah, name 4 members of the Bullet Club, Jordan. Jesus Christ. All right.
Just 4?
So, anyways, with my next pick, I'm just going to take him because he was the first Intercontinental Champion. He was a great pioneer of wrestling. He just
Canadian. Passed away, you loser.
And he did just pass away. He was the creator of the Royal Rumble. He had the Great Stooge gimmick. He is one of the greatest wrestling minds ever in the business.
Put this on my list.
I'm going to select Pat Patterson.
Just a quick question. Where do you have Luna Vachon on your list?
Honorable mention, but
damn it,
sexy. Am I right?
So, Pat, what's your favorite Pat Patterson match?
It doesn't matter. I'm going by amazingness in.
You know who's not going to like that? Most people on the internet. This isn't going to be something people are going to see that name and they're not going to realize how big of a deal he was. And
no, they will.
No,
he just died.
Won't. Yeah, but they're not going to know. Most people who are our age think of Pat Patterson as a Vince McMahon stooge, not for everything he did behind the scenes.
Well, do a quick internet search and you'll be fine.
Hey, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Who did he beat for the Intercontinental title?
Nobody. It was in a made-up tournament.
Fair enough.
Damn it, Matt got owned.
Beat him for the Intercontinental
That's a big-time owned move.
I don't know who, Matt.
Pedro Morales.
Oh, that's good. Oh, little piece of
trivia. Hey guys, if you're done measuring your penises, can we move on to Matt's pick?
No, I'm just proving that Pat just picked that. That Pat just picked that to pander to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wrestling nerds.
What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, there's certain people we know who think that if you do a tiny bit of research and then pick someone, it's automatically a pander. So, not a big deal.
Pick someone stupid.
Okay, so
where was Slick born?
Not in Canada.
He screams Detroit to me, doesn't he? Slick just screams Detroit.
All right, Matt,
all right.
Pick away.
Oh my gosh. I have to do it. I'm gonna just disavow.
Yeah,
right out the chute.
You do. You have to. This is where he should be.
And I'm going Chris Benoit. I have 2 Chris's on my team.
I'll bleep it. No, I won't.
But I mean, okay. Literally, let's just put aside the heinousness of everything that happened revolving around his last days.
Obviously, fucking terrible. Horrible. But you can't. I don't think you can talk about Canadian wrestling and the people who made it without Chris Benoit.
Wrestling from 2000 till I think he passed away in 2009. I don't think you can
Right.
talk about that without talking about Chris Benoit. He, for a guy who wasn't very good on the mic
No.
and really wasn't overly big, he inserted himself and worked his way up in a company that values those two things and allowed himself to be, well, I mean, what he was until I think he would still be wrestling right now and still be doing great things if the unfortunateness did not happen.
Yeah, I think with Chris Benoit, you can talk about a man who was talented, but also a great
Yes.
cautionary tale of of what can happen with the wrestling industry at that time. So I think, like, Pat, you're muted. I think, yeah, it's just tough. Like, it's sad. Like, it really is sad because he could have been so much more. But I do think that sometimes in life, like, if something terrible happens, we tend to brush over it. And I think if you look and understand the circumstances about what happened with Chris Benoit and his family, while tragic for his wife and his son, we can also come to understand that there are some really bad underlying
Yes.
issues that made that man act outside
A
of
very
his normal
talented
character.
Yeah, I think he's the ultimate cautionary tale.
Yeah. And so I think context, I think life is very gray.
Yeah.
It's not black
Well
and
said.
white. So
You can't do this list and
And
not
I
have
don't
Chris
think you
Benoit.
can do it and
Yeah.
have him not in.
You just can't.
I'd argue he's probably top 5 even.
I think you put I think you
As an
overvalued him a
in-ring
little bit on the
wrestler?
list,
Oh,
but he
yeah.
should be on there.
as an in-ring wrestler, if we weren't talking anything else, like if we were just saying like who's going to put the work
Yeah.
in,
Yeah, absolutely.
how do you not?
Moving on. Going to my next pick. Man, I'm just gonna pick a bunch of dead guys, I guess. I'm gonna go to Owen Hart. I'm struggling between two guys, but I think Owen Hart for 2 reasons. Owen Hart, I'm gonna pick his in-ring work and his charisma. I think he had more charisma than Brett. I think if Brett had left WWF and left Owen to his own devices, and if he had gotten past the Blue Blazer gimmick, probably not the greatest thing to say, but had he gotten past that, I think we're looking at a guy. I'm gonna just talk through you because your internet's just the shits again.
Yeah, Matt, you just talk.
I'm not talking.
Pat's internet is brutal.
I think his in-ring work was incredible. I really do think he could have been a star beyond what he already was. Taken too soon, man. Taken too soon.
I agree. I don't have much more to say about those two. I mean, have to talk about them. Both deaths tragic in different ways. Yeah, just tough. I think we just keep it moving. Pat, go. Let's keep it moving.
Am I good?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, but that's
No,
the thing.
yeah,
You
you
got
had
to put
to
those
pick
two guys on the list, and I think you say if Brett would have left earlier, Owen would have been a bigger star. I think if Brett would have stayed, Owen wouldn't have done that Blue Blazer gimmick, and it may have saved his life.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, yeah, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to throw the first woman on the list.
Oh, good.
I am going to select Trish Stratus.
Oh, Jordan's upset. Jordan's upset.
Damn it.
I think
I thought I might get that.
it would behoove us not to put her at least in, what are we at?
8.
At least in the top 10. I mean, I think she did for women's wrestling.
She's in a good spot.
I think she's won titles, and the way she broke into the business as a fitness model and worked her way up as one of the best in-ring women's talents of all time. And you cannot talk about late Attitude Era women's wrestling and the women's program without saying Trish Stratus was the most important part of that. Her and Lita, but I would put Trish Stratus even ahead of her. I think she is so important to the history of WWE, important to women's wrestling, important to Canadian women's wrestling, important to Canadian wrestling in general. So Trish Stratus goes as my third pick.
Now, Jordan, just before you continue, I think, okay, we're through these first 8. I think we're getting to the spot now where it starts to get a little contentious and we can start really diving into people's picks.
I don't think so. I think that's going to happen after my
Of
two
course you
picks.
would think that.
I don't think these are contentious. I think these
You're
are
going to pick the two guys I want.
I think these are very chalk.
I'm a little bit PO'd about it.
Yeah, you can't not. So the first person I'm going to take is, again, purely because I like being in this spot because I can take the guy I love more and slot him one slot higher. So I'm taking
Damn
Lance
you.
Storm,
Damn you.
who I love. I love Lance Storm with my entire heart because not only was he a great worker, not only does he lead the bring back the backdrop gimmick, or the bring back the backdrop hashtag, because the backdrop is amazing and it deserves to continue to have a place in modern wrestling. But also, he found a way to make being serious a comedic gimmick.
Damn
And
it.
I think what I loved about Lance is he made wrestling fit him. Like Lance just consistently was himself, and then wrestling, like he just found a way to stay inside the realm of wrestling. So
I would
I'm
say
a
Lance
big Lance
Storm.
Storm guy.
If you look at this entire list at the end, Lance Storm is the best in-ring worker on this list, without a doubt. Yes.
Above Brett? Wow,
That's
that's
big for me to
that's
say.
Big
That's
prop.
big.
I'm also looking at my list and going, man, Canada produces some workers.
Yeah.
Holy
I would agree.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lance
I
Storm.
mean, we got Ryan O'Reilly
Yeah,
sitting
we
in NXT right now.
Lance Storm, Kyle O'Reilly.
Or
I was
Kyle
like, Ryan
O'Reilly. Sorry, I
O'Reilly's
said
the
Ryan
center, but
O'Reilly.
I'm just
Yeah,
going to
my
leave that
bad.
there.
Yeah,
Great center.
yeah, my bad.
Hey?
Sorry.
He's a solid center. I'd get him take draws all day.
He doesn't like Tim Hortons windows though.
Wow. Wow. Took a second.
Got a rich
Took a
Ontario.
second,
Tim
but I
Hortons
got it.
took a beating that day.
Lance Storm, I mean, I wanted him. I thought he might fall to my next pick. Just because the guy is next level good, and some of the guys he's trained are right up there too. Like, I don't think anybody's taking Tyler Breeze on this list, so I'm going to drop the name. But Tyler Breeze is a solid worker who I think just lacks a little something. But, I mean, that's a discussion for another day. But that's the guy that comes to mind. Jordan, give us your next pick. You bastard.
As a man of devout religious faith, who would I be if I did not include the Christians?
You literally just took the next two guys I wanted.
I know, because this is what I'm saying. Like, this is an obvious one. There's one other name that could sneak into the top 10, but I think he's kind of too back in the day. But Christian, I mean, Edge's running mate, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, baby, from the Attitude Era. And I loved, again, he was another guy like Edge who just kept finding a way to rework
Just had
himself.
an ugly face.
I think one of the most underrated.
That's why Vince never pushed him. He had an ugly face.
That's
I know, right?
insane.
Is that amazing?
Vince is a noodle. Christian is one of the most underrated mic work guys of all time. I think he was just fantastic in that role. And I think he was a really good wrestling psychology guy. I think he did a really good job selling certain spots and knowing how to work in certain matches. So that's I love my first four picks. I could just sit there in them all day and nestle them up. So Pat, over to you. I believe this is pick 11.
I have a lot. I could go old school. I could go kind of off the board a little bit, but I don't know. I love this guy. I think he's got great potential to be something amazingly great. I think it's a little bit of a futures pick, even though he's been around for a while already. I just think resume, in-ring work, charisma, and immediate impact on the roster when he showed up.
Don't fucking do it.
I'm going to take Kevin Owens.
Oh my God. I starred three guys on my list. Huge. You guys just took them in order that I starred them.
Like,
you guys suck.
And Pat's internet went to shit again. And it's a debacle at this point. And he's going to come back in and it's going to be choppy. I'm going to mute him. Who did
Kevin
he pick?
Owens.
Did you even hear?
And I'm a...
Okay, so Matt, what would you say about Kevin Owens?
My next pick because Pat's gone. Pat's gone. But
now he's gone. This is great. So he's going to join back. So let's go. Let's just keep going. Elite
intro to
from
Kevin
Pat
Owens was bang on. This guy made an impact from the day he stepped into NXT, from the day he stepped into WWE. He's a guy, he's your typical Canadian wrestler. He has lasting power. He can kind of fit any role. He's good on the mic, good in the ring. Maybe doesn't have the look that WWE necessarily craves, but has found a way to stay relevant. And that's why he's good, is what I would have said had I picked him. Now, I did not pick him, so I will tell Pat, You picked him too early. He's overrated. You're overrating him. You're a dummy. Defend it, Pat. Oh wait, you're not here. You suck.
Yeah. So, would Pat have no? Pat would have another pick at this point. Matt, please
My
make your
two.
next two picks.
Now, it won't even let me back in now. He just texted. Huh, what a goof. I'm going to make my two picks without him here because then.
Yeah, he might have to
can I
forfeit
pick
his
it?
last pick.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, you can pick
Okay.
for him. Just keep going.
So-
This is on him.
My 12th pick in a Flight and a Pint of Canadian wrestlers. Oh, now it gets difficult. You bastards, you took all my guys. I think I'm going to have to take Rick Martel.
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty
Yeah,
much
I have
to
to
at
take
that
Rick
point,
Martel
right?
based on. I thought maybe I'd take him with my last pick, but I'll take Rick Martel now. He's solid. He's a good. I don't really have much to say about Rick Martel. He was kind of vanilla. He had a good gimmick. Like the model gimmick was good in WWE, but maybe pigeonholed him a bit. AWA was kind of where he thrived. But with my 13th pick, now I'm going to just purely pick someone that I just really enjoyed, and primarily because his gimmick was awesome. Val freaking Venus. Val Venus. He made a porn star last in WWE. Enough said. I watched a few of his vignettes. They've been popping up on my Instagram feed with different porn stars. I mean, with different adult entertainers. Let's get real, they're porn stars. And they were fantastic. The
Yeah,
innuendos, they were. And Choppy PP, that whole storyline with Kai and Tai, is that not all time?
So many ridiculous, like Val Venus. Again, talk about a guy who just like did what he had to do to stay on the mid card and just fucking live.
But
it.
has like
You
he has
know?
like 3
Like, just
Intercontinental
absolutely live
Championship
there.
reigns, which is incredible to think. Like he was just it was good. Now, this is where Pat would pick. So should we just
Yeah.
pick for him?
I agree. How about this? Do you have a name? You throw out a name and I'll throw out a name. And we will end
Now,
up
are
in
we
the
picking
middle.
someone that we actually think should go in this spot?
No, this is I want us to screw Pat over. I think we should put
pick
Luna Vachon
Earthquake.
here. Oh,
I know. I know.
what?
His
Okay,
singlet.
okay. Because I feel like, but here's the thing: Earthquake. Some people could see that as being like
Luna
a
Vachon should
legitimate
never
pick.
be on this list.
I think
Yeah.
Luna Vachon just like someone's gonna look at that and be like, why the f did he take Luna
Jordan?
Vachon?
Yep.
Because Pat got auto drafted. He
because
auto
that would be in
drafted
his
Luna
queue.
Vachon. That would be an askew. And my final pick, this is purely just me wanting to take him. Abdullah the
Which
Butcher
did
is
not know
going to
he
be
was
my
Canadian.
final pick.
Until I started doing some research.
Abdullah the Butcher, technically from Windsor, Ontario, 5 decades in the wrestling business, just being a fucking hardcore madman.
His forehead looks like a cheese
Psycho.
grater.
So I could care less if people think he should be on this list or not. Abdullah the Butcher is some of the best guy with a part of just some, and that guy lives kayfabe.
The day he dies.
Oh, he lives kayfabe. So Matt, can you recap your
Let's
picks?
just throw out a couple honorable mentions real quick. Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
Bobby
sure.
Roode,
Go ahead.
Natalia. I think Dino Bravo, Sami Zayn.
Sami
Test.
Zayn.
Santino
Santino
Marella,
Marella.
I think Canada.
Tyson Kidd.
Canada has done. They
Rene
have
Dupree.
produced some absolute studs in the wrestling business.
Oh,
Yes,
you know
Eric
Eric Young.
Are we?
That guy deserves a shout.
Are we
Don
like?
Callis.
Is Canada right?
We produce
And
some
talent that's gone
We do.
all around the world. Like it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So to recap,
Yeah.
I'm going to recap everybody's picks. To recap,
Yes.
Fighting the Pint.
Yeah. Oh, you got him. Okay,
Matt
that's good.
Matt went first. He picked 1, 6, 7, 12, and 13. I picked Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Owen Hart, Rick Martel, and Val Venus. Pat with 2, 5, 8, 11, and 14 picked Bret Hart.
Auto drafted
14.
14. Auto bracket.
Pat drafted
Yep.
Bret Hart, Pat Patterson, Trish Stratus, Kevin Owens, and then auto drafted Luna Vachon. Jordan with 3, 4, 9,
Yep.
10, and 15 picked Edge, Roddy Piper, Lance Storm, Christian, and Abdullah the Butcher. Now, that was a good fight in a pint.
That was a great fight in a pint. And Matt, let me tell you something. I can't quite remember how Pat does the outro.
I'm just gonna
I
try
hear
it
it every week, and I can't remember. You want to try it? Okay, you go first, and I'll go, and I'll go if I
we're gonna put a little bow on that, and yeah, we're gonna put a little bow on that, and you remember to drink local. You can follow us.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe the podcast. Make sure you listen too, because a lot of people like and subscribe, don't listen. You can follow us on Twitter.
Listen.
At Bros Bumps Beers. You can follow us on Instagram at Bros Bumps and Beers AND. You're gonna drink local,
right? Matt, what's your Untapped? Because we didn't mention that at all this episode.
My Untapped is at Matt.
With 2 T's, haha, 2 T gimmick.
You can follow
LOL.
Jordan at JScroll55. You can follow Pat at Pat Gagne. You're gonna drink local. You're gonna continue to support local breweries. You're gonna continue to stay safe, social distance, and
if you are listening this deep in the episode, you need to tweet at Pat and tell him to get better internet, because we fight with this every week. And it's like every week Matt and I have this solid internet, and then Pat drops out like 3 times an episode. So
Pat's internet sucks.
Tell him hashtag. You know what? I think that's the name of the episode. Yeah. Pat's internet sucks. Or something like that. But anyways, remember to drink local. This has been your friendly friends at Bros, Bumps, and Beers. Have a great week.